Hello, my friends. Good morning. We're going to have a little badassery story time and a little bit of grounding. As you can see, we've got my feet in the grass and some sunning. You can see the sun. We're in Arizona, but just remember the sun is there no matter what. It's always there for you, and it could be cloudy and the sun is still shining on you. So those rays are still working and to your benefit. I know some of you are going to pop on. Hello and welcome, everyone. I want you guys to know that I'm going to touch on some story time, whatever you want to call it, like badassery time. And the topic today is Chapter 7. If you have your own copy, follow along. Hello, everyone. Awakening is a choice, not an event. I'm only going to read to you like a couple sentences here, and then we're going to talk about it because I find this is exactly what we're all going through right now. The entire planet, the chaos, your friends, your family, people are going through these relationships, either breaking up completely, breaking apart, or they are breaking open. And so when we talk about awakening, I think everybody's so confused, like, what is awakening? And so this is the mini version in this book. Again, we're reading Mastering Badassery. What is all this awakening mumbo jumbo anyway? What does awakening actually mean? Is it physical? Is it physically being awake or asleep? Or is it some spiritually enlightened thing? Well, funny, it's a little bit of both. However, it's not one out there thing. It's an inside job. One day, you realize the outside world isn't working for you and you're miserable. Then you start cleaning your house, so to speak, so you can live lighter, and ta-da! You see your world differently, and you're awake, and you become a badass. So here's what's the cool part about this. I hear this all the time. It's not that easy, Dawn. And I'm like, you're correct. You're totally correct. It's not that easy. And awakening is not that easy. And so if you want to hold on to the old, and the answer is you need to look at it all from that perspective. It is old thinking, old reality, old energy. And if you want to hang on to the old, that's on you, right? Or you don't want to admit, number two, these are the reasons, like, I'm going to hold on to the old and that's who I am. Or I don't want to admit, or I'm not willing to try something new, to expand or shift my truth. Because my truth was told, this is the belief, this is my, and it's coming up in religion, in education, in marriage, and relationships, and medicine, all these things that you were told as beliefs. So I'm just using marriage as an example, but it's all your beliefs. If you're not willing to go, I need to wake up and have a truth. And so what I want people to understand, it's not going to be that easy. It's just not. And so one thing most people don't want to come to grips with is y'all have this epigenetic kind of line, let's call it, like of this epigenetic, it's the epigene, the higher gene, the emotional gene of ancestral lineage, right? The emotion code, we'll call it, the emotional codes in your DNA. And it's traveled along for generations, and it came down the line, here it comes, and now it hit into you. And you're part of that energetic emotional code. And so one of the reasons we're getting tripped up is that many of you are like, well, I want to own it. I don't want to own that. I don't want that to be my code. I don't want that generation to be in my code. I don't want that lineage to be in my energy field. And instead, you're like, that's not mine. So you don't cut it and you don't choose to be free. Or two, I don't want to believe that I chose that family and those parents. And if you did and you saw it going, I chose them so I could be the warrior to cut that cord and be free. And three, if I admit to this thing that's clearly, it could be abandonment, it could be criticism, it could be poverty consciousness, it could be health, sacrifice consciousness, whatever, all these different kinds of vows of poverty and silence, and whatever it is that your family lineage has made. And what's fascinating about this is when you start thinking through this and you're like, I don't want to see that thing, is ego. And if my ego doesn't want to own this and think about it, I label, because if I own that thing that's negative, that's then 10,000 generations long in your bloodline, in your energy field, in your epigene, okay? I want to see it in ego form as I'm labeling myself a bad person. And because if I admit this thing, right, it means I have to admit I'm not being very kind to others. I'm not being compassionate with others. And the answer is it's not about you. It's just about you stepping into what do you want instead. So this is the breaking point for people. And you can either see it or you can ignore it and look like a dumbass, look like an idiot. I'm just going to call you out on it. I'm tired of dancing around and tiptoeing around all this. It's going to hurt my feelings. I don't give a shit. It's time for all of us to wake up and go, does that look like something you could see in your family history? Father, mother, and or both. And you're here to either cut it or live through it again. Totally on you. Right? And so at this point, my friends, energy has become so visual. You can feel energy, you can see energy. When things feel warm and easy and light, you know that. When things don't feel warm and easy and light, you know that too. So you can't hide from it anymore. And yes, those who are hiding from it and acting like they don't want to admit to their own negative, lineage of epigenes and emotional genes and lineage of energy, you'll look like a crying hyena. Look at you, and you look ridiculous. And so when you're acting, all people see is you acting stupid and rude and disrespectful and manipulative. That's what people see now. They don't see like what's wrong with them is something, they're an asshole. They don't even see that anymore. They just think it looks ridiculous. And again, there's for no better reason than you're just not willing to work through your stuff and see your lineage of mother-father wounds that you came to kill, you came to dissolve, you came to burn to the ground. Not your mom and dad's fault. They were just the messengers. So especially this is coming up in partners and spouses right now, as I started with. You're seeing them either break apart completely, right? Break open, or they're breaking down and they're ending. And a lot of people don't want to admit this. And so the spouse or the partner who's open-minded and wants to move forward says, let's break open and learn. And some of them aren't doing that. Some don't want to break open. And that's okay. That's how you know it's time to break apart. So comment below, any of you who watch this later, are on live now, below where you see the challenge of, are you the challenge that you're resisting the growth, or you're the light for the growth? Because if you're ready for a complete self-review, DM me or send me a message for a 1-day reset. I have a 1-day reset for you, and it will blow your mind. It's blowing everybody's mind. It's blowing my mind. But at the end of this discussion, really, we were talking about, is an awakening an event or who you are? And it's putting your head up and saying, wait, I know I don't want that. I want this. It's basic. We make everything so freaking crazy and overdrawn. Any of you want to join me? I'm happy to bring you on. I see, let me see. Sean, you were wanting to join. Do you want, if you throw me a message, if you want to join me on this request, I'm happy to bring you on. I would love to discuss this with you. Are you interested? Just throw me a message or in a comment, and I'm happy to bring you on and let's discuss this in a message review alive. If you're feeling this right now and you're feeling this turmoil, let me know. Right? If you're feeling this, I need Dawn to show me a way, give me a tool, DM me. Right? I'm always showing people there's always an easier solution, an easier viewpoint to validate you. There's nothing wrong with you. People keep going, we need therapy, we need to label this, we need to be, something's wrong with me. Do you know why this happened? And my answer is no. We don't need to label, there's nothing wrong with you. You don't need therapy, you need freaking tools. And you don't have any. You're lacking tools because no one taught you this new way. Okay, no worries, Shan. I'll see you soon on our live later. But I want you guys to understand that, okay, that you're just lacking tools to grow. And I don't care where you live in the world. I don't care what it is. Is there a better way for you to see yourself? And once you see yourself, can you up your game? Can you raise your frequency? Can you do a self-review and say, oh, my shitty parents or my amazing parents or the parents that were amazing, I couldn't see their weak spots, have played out in me? What is it in that ancestral lineage of your epigene, your higher gene, your emotional gene, that you're here to be the final line and step into the next generation and being your most badass, successful, brilliant, bring on the most amazing, successful aspect of yourself in all 12 aspects of yourself? Can you master all that? Yes, you absolutely can. You just have to own it and understand that there's a part of you that came to clip the cords. Cool? All right, my friends. So awakening is a lot easier than we thought. Can you explain to me how to get more relaxed? Yes. Someone's asking how to get more relaxed. You get more relaxed by owning who you are, because you're trying to do what everyone else wants you to do, what everyone else wants you to be. And everybody asks me about anxiety a lot and how to not be stressed out. You always want, I'm going to end this on a high note, okay? We talked about marriages and relationships and all this. What it all comes down to is if you don't know you, your energetic imprint is your nervous system and who you were taught by your parents, your family, your environment. They taught your nervous system is wired to get comfortable because it gets in protection mode. And you keep trying to apply that to the external world to live, and it doesn't work anymore because your soul knows better. It has a higher learning, a higher understanding. And so when your soul is conflicting with what your nervous system is trying to make comfortable, that comfort doesn't work anymore. So when you're trying to live in a comfort system and comfort zone of your nervous system that was programmed by people who didn't know how to calm their nervous systems, how to step into consciousness, how to put awakening back into their brains. Again, chapter 7 here that I was just reading to all of you. And again, Mastering Badassery, my new book, it's right in my bio. You guys can go get it. I'm just giving you guys the stuff that's coming, out right now in the world. Awakening is a choice, not an event. So you have to awaken to, am I living out of my nervous system? And it's going to always, your inner child, your ego is going to go back to what it learned as a child and get comfort. And sometimes what it learned as a child isn't very good. So it's trying to accommodate, people please, nurture everybody so it can get comfortable. And that's not healthy for you because that's against your soul, which is a badass, beautiful, it knows better. It knows how to do everything faster, cleaner, more brilliant, and with light. The sun. You are the sun of source consciousness, S-U-N. Okay? One more question about my girlfriend. It's more deep. I can't forget her anymore. Forget her or forgive her. So again, we're going to get into this more. I want you guys to know that my warrior event, if you can't make it, Shan, who's on right now asking a lot of amazing questions, he is across the world. So I know you're not going to make it to the live, but I will be launching this one-day live event as a course, so you can take it to go and do self-review. I can't forget her or forgive her. You're not forgetting and forgiving yourself, Shan. That's that simple. Okay, we keep wanting it to be someone else's fault. And when you're not forgiving someone, you're not forgiving yourself for going, you know what, I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust myself that this person was going to take advantage of me, was going to be unfaithful to me, was going to use me, was going to, hurt me in some way. You didn't trust your soul, and you went to what your programming and nervous system conditioning wants you to have. And that's what I'm trying to share with you guys. That is the biggest aha you guys can put a heart and share in the comments with me if you guys can wrap your brain around this. Nervous system wants comfort, which isn't to your benefit. Your ego, your inner child is throwing a temper tantrum because that's what it did to get attention. And so it's going to forgive. It's not going to forgive. It's going to try to accommodate. And you're losing yourself in people instead of when you know your soul, you know your truth, you know who you are. Nobody rocks your world. And you tell them, this is how you show up for me. Okay? So forgiveness is about forgiving yourself for not trusting yourself. It is never about the other person. People are just being people, and we have to stop blaming people, labeling them. This whole narcissism bullshit going on right now, I get why they're doing what they're doing, but narcissists match the empaths. You're both insecure and you both match. One's just the aggressor and one's the passive, and so you have a yin-yang balance. Just asshole and sweet, and they're both in an insecure state. It's always the same. We're all energy. Okay? So I love you all. Brightest blessings. You guys have an amazing weekend. If you're not signed up for Truth Tribe, it is free. Click on my Truth Tribe. Link is in the bio. We're going to go live. If not, go look on Facebook to the Facebook group, and I launch them in there as well. Next thing as well, we are having our live event. If you want to do a life review, I'm telling you, you guys, you're going to blow your mind, because your souls will ignite in this event in one day. In 6 hours, your entire reality will shift. And it's really going to be just a ton of fun. So fun, shift my reality, be my most badass self, to me, makes sense. And if not, go get the book. I have a couple people been sending me all their notes out of the book, and it is the coolest freaking experience I've ever had. So I love you all. You guys have an amazing weekend. Brightest blessings, and I'll see you on Monday for Truth Tribe. Take care.